This is such a sad story, guys. I don't know if you're like Jessica, who I'm going to talk to here in just a minute with you, but she worked really hard for years to grow her YouTube channel by focusing on search, focusing on keywords, focusing on ranking her videos to be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 for a lot of search queries and terms that are very popular in the audience, with the audience that she's growing her business with. And we spent a lot of time just doing that. And it worked. I mean, she grew her channel. She got over 100,000 subscribers, but it was a long time to get there for her, especially considering how broad her niche is and how many people could get value from what she's doing. And then things got worse. Not only did it take a while, but it actually backfired on her. Her focusing on search, focusing on keywords, focusing on those terms and queries actually backfired, and her channel went into reverse. I mean, not by reverse, as she'll share here in this episode, her AdSense revenue, instead of doing about $10,000 a month from AdSense, she went to $1,300 in AdSense revenue in 1 month. In other words, it went to almost a tenth of the growth and the traction and momentum she had before as a result of her strategy of growing her channel by focusing on search. Now, there is a happy ending to this. It does turn around. I'm going to talk about what she'd had to do in order to turn that around. But I want this episode to be for those of you guys who are still thinking that way in terms of tags and keywords and search results as like your primary traffic source for growing your channel. I want you by the end of this episode to have a different idea for how you can grow your channel not only faster, but mitigate almost all of the risks that come with focusing on search. I want you to, we're not saying search is bad. We're just saying you need to broaden your focus. It needs to expand to include more ways of growth and search and discovery on YouTube. So this is a really good story, and I'm really excited to dive into that with her here today so that you can learn from her mistakes and make sure you can grow the same way that she is now growing.
Hey, welcome to the Video Creators Podcast. You know how you put a lot of time and energy into your YouTube channel for not nearly enough growth? Yeah, we get it. We're here today to help you change that. If you're trying to accelerate your channel's momentum, become more profitable, and change the lives of more people than ever before, today's episode will help you move forward with confidence. So far, our team is responsible for helping clients generate over 20 billion views on YouTube. And now to help you, here's the Video Creators team.
Hello, creators. How are you guys? It's great to see you again for another Video Creators Podcast episode like we do every week here, just to help you grow your YouTube channel, grow your audience, grow your business, reach more people, change their lives with the message that you're spreading. And we hope that our message here today helps change your life a little bit, especially in helping you feel more confident in how you're growing your channel and how you're moving forward with reaching more people, changing their lives, and growing your business all at the same time. Now, we're going to cut to this interview I did with Jessica a few months ago at a conference we were both speaking at. Her story is really interesting to me because this is really common. We worked with, I think we like 635 creators in 2021 as clients, and we see it very common. It's the thing that most creators default to, which is search. And I get it on one hand because people think, YouTube is owned by Google. And so people are like, well, Google and YouTube are the same company. So like they both work the same way, but no, they don't, right? Like all you have to do is look at the homepage of these two different platforms and know that they are very different platforms with very different goals and objectives, right? Like if Google does their job well, then you are on their platform for 5 to 7 seconds, and then you're off onto someone else's platform. However, if you contrast that with YouTube, they do their job well if they hold your attention and keep you there for hours. On Google, there's only one main action you can take, and that's search, right in the middle. But on YouTube, search is there, it's at the top, but the main action they're asking you to take is there's advertising they want you to click on. There's a slew of different titles and thumbnails and videos that you could pick from, and they're all personalized for you. Search is a big deal on YouTube. It is this world's second largest search engine, second to Google itself, but that does not mean that they are trying to accomplish the same things nor even doing them in the same way, right? So it's really important that we understand how YouTube works specifically. And in this episode with Jessica, we're going to get into that. And so if you don't know who Jessica is, links to everything we're about to discuss are down in the show notes of this episode. You can go check them out down there. And I'll be back here at the end of this interview to kind of have some follow-up thoughts. But let's dive into this interview here first, and then I'll see you in a little bit. Jessica.
Hi.
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 It's been a while since we've caught up. Being in person again is like this new thing.
It's amazing.
It's like I walk up to people like, "Hey, no, like fist bump. Is it elbow bump? Like it's a little bit awkward, and then you kind of just like one person goes for the shake and you go for the elbow."
I know.
Like,
and somebody's gonna like grab it and like gear shift, right? Like
like the cloud on Trolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for people who don't know who you are, who are you?
Hi, I'm Jessica.
Jessica.
That's it.
Hey,
that's one
Jessica.
name, like Madonna.
Hey, it's Jessica.
Yes.
Not that's Jessica.
That it's Hey Jessica.
It's Hey Jessica?
Hey Jessica.
Your brand?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey
I thought
Jessica.
Hey, it's Jessica.
No, just Hey Jessica.
Hey Jessica.
Like
Okay.
Hey Jessica.
Hey Jessica.
Yeah.
Tell people who don't know who Hey Jessica is.
So I'm Jessica Stansberry, but Stansberry is like, can be hard for people to spell, can be hard for people to remember. So just remember, Hey Jessica. I teach.
It's not as bad as Schmoyer though.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
You got the You got the poopy end of the stick on that one.
My wife's maiden name. She downgraded a little bit, but it's okay.
What was her maiden name?
Wayman.
Oh yeah.
Way easier, right?
Way easier. So my maiden name was
Way is
Hart.
even in the name. So
Yeah. My maiden name is Hart.
Hart?
And I so wish I would have branded under that. Just like, sorry, honey, it'll legally be my name, but like, that's not actually going to be my name.
Sure.
But I didn't. So here we are.
Anyway, Stansberry's not that hard.
Yes.
That is Schmoyer. So what do you do?
Okay. So I help small business owners create content that sells their products for them. So content marketing and passive income and selling all the things.
All the hashtag, all the things. That's
Hashtag
her
all the
thing.
things
All the things are her thing.
Yes, all the things, except for some of the things. They're not always my things. Inside jokes, like it's one of those things. But yeah, I help people create content that sells their things.
Okay.
And preferably passively, but service providers too, but mostly people who are selling on a one-to-many platform.
Is it accurate to say that you're like a social media guru of all the things? So not just YouTube, but also podcasting and Instagram and Facebook and email and sales pages and all that stuff?
Yeah, I really like to nerd out about the business side of it, right? Yes, I can teach you how to grow on YouTube, but it's more to me about how to get the leads, how to get the sales.
Sure.
Same thing on Instagram.
Yeah.
Same thing on email marketing.
For?
A while. Let's see. I started my business in 2010. No, yes. But I was a web designer then.
Oh.
And then I kind of switched into this space right around the time we met. So a year before we met, probably. 2015.
2016?
We met 2016. And I did that, and I probably made that switch in 2015.
I think you flew out. We met in Cincinnati, right? You flew out for the Video Labs for our conference there, went through that, and
And it was
now
great.
You're crushing it.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I still have so many friends from that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this was so awesome.
I hired people out of that group.
Yeah. Do you still do it? Do you still do the in-person?
Well,
I mean,
no,
COVID.
not yet, but I think just a little inside story for you guys.
There
I
you
want
go.
to, and that conversation has come up, but it won't be. It'll be different.
Okay,
It'll
gotcha.
be more of I really like getting a small group of people and just going deep and workshopping and helping them, not come to a big event where you take a bunch of notes from someone who's never seen you or talked to you before, and you could have just listened to it online and gotten the same thing out of it. I want to create an experience where we actually all get together and my team analyzes your channel before you get there.
Yes.
And then we have all those reports and we can work with you one-on-one, but you're also having team input from other people, the whole community. So I got a framework for that in my head because
But it was a great event. Outside of all of that, it was so good, and it was good for me. It was very validating for me because I had kind of started I had floundered on YouTube for a year, and then 6 months before I came, I'd started getting serious. And when I got there, you and everybody else were like, "No, you're doing great. Just keep going."
I am? Sweet.
And I'm like, "This is awesome.
And now
I'll
look
just keep
at you.
doing it." I know.
You're a speaker here at Social Media Marketing World, and you're on the Video Creators Podcast now. Isn't that amazing?
So special.
So, I like following your journey because one, you tend to make things that are that nobody likes into something fun.
Super fun.
Yeah. So one of those things that I've heard you describe lately was like, it's going to be fighting words for some people, but we're going to go there, which is like, I was focusing on search for my channel, and it almost killed me.
Yeah.
Which is like, now you know why they're fighting words. Like for some people, that's like, no, search is the way you grow. And I'm like, I literally have never seen any channel explode. I've seen channels grow slowly over time.
Yeah.
But like when we talk about like some of our clients, one of them I think you met, I think he was there. He went from 2,000 subscribers a day to 39,000 subscribers per day. I don't know if I can say the name.
Oh,
but
okay. We'll talk about it. Okay.
I don't have
Secrets.
permission to share their data. But yeah, so like that, like 93% of that traffic comes from homepage growth.
Right.
You know, not in traffic, not from like search. Anyway, so what happened? You're focusing on search. What happened? Yeah,
so I was focusing on search because from a business perspective, right? I'm like, I want to get my clients who are like, or customers who are out there like searching for the things, and then like get them and bring them into the funnels and like do the things.
Right.
And
like normal people do.
Yes, and it was great. I mean, I grew. It's not like I didn't grow. I definitely grew. I went from, I think when I met you, I had like 1,500 subscribers, and I got to like 100,000, honestly, with focusing on search.
Yeah.
But then that's when I started to see like, just like things weren't working anymore.
You know what I mean?
Like all my analytics just like crashed. It's almost like as soon as I hit like 100,000, nothing worked anymore.
When you say nothing worked, are you talking about like YouTube's platform didn't work? Or are you talking like your content wasn't performing the same way anymore?
It was definitely me. It was definitely my content. Now, could it have been like algorithmic changes? Maybe. I don't know. But it was like stuff that had been in search for years were like falling out of search. This is also around it was also around the same time that tags were like not a thing. Like that YouTube was like, oh, never mind. Like we're not doing this. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But like things started like falling out of search that were giving me a massive amount of views. And then not only that, but like every time I would do a video for search, it would be there. I would rank, but like it wasn't
for yourself or like
in the search
window
term
and everything.
Yeah. But it just like wouldn't do much for me. Like those people who were coming in through the search were not then coming back for my next videos, right? And that's when I started realizing that. And that's the key. That's the takeaway right there.
Yeah.
It's like a one and done,
That's a very common thing, though, because when people make videos for search, they usually craft those videos differently.
Yes.
And it's really about like info, boom, done.
Yeah.
And that's what someone who's in a search session wants. They're like, I want the info. Thank you. See you later. Have a good life.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not, you can get subscribers, but it's a difficult way to get fans.
Yes.
That way.
They're not coming back. They don't care. They're not invested.
Because they just work with that one video. They didn't care about anything else you made after that.
Right.
They're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened? Like what almost killed? Was it like your traffic just died and your business almost didn't have any leads anymore? Is that what happened?
It wasn't. I mean, I wouldn't go that far because I've built like so much other traffic, right? Like I have Instagram and other things, and you know, my videos were still getting reach, but like far below what they were before. And so the traffic was just like, I mean, it just like plummeted. I've showed it on my channel. I did a whole video about like my channel is dying because I'm like, let me show you my analytics because they're ridiculous.
We should link up to that video in the show notes.
It's super fun. And then I did an update.
We'll put it down there for you guys.
Yeah, I did an
update recently. If we can find
recently.
it in search, I don't even know anymore.
I mean, you can go to my channel and you can find it. Too soon. Too soon. No. Sorry. Bad joke. No, joking. But like basically all these analytics come crushing down. Like my CPMs were terrible. Not that that's what I care about, but like you could just see it in everything, views, like everything. And so I'm like, okay, I've got to fix this. And I know that's what it is. I know that like they're coming, they searched for ClickUp or Trello or whatever, and they found me, and then they were like, oh, you helped me, bye.
Yeah.
They weren't like doing anything else.
Sure.
So I started being more myself, number one. Not that I have not been myself on my channel.
I don't know if that's possible for you.
Right, like I've always been myself.
I think you can ratchet yourself up, but I don't think you can not be yourself.
I can like squeeze it in, but it's
I'm ratcheting myself up right now because I'm so tired.
You want me to push you over and just fall?
I feel like my eyes are red, like bloodshot, but anyway.
No, they're not.
Okay, good.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I would kind of deliver the information and that was all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's nothing for people to like connect with on a human level.
Yeah.
They're like, thanks, intellectually, you served me. I don't care about you.
Right. So I stopped doing that. I started leaning into more of how I would actually teach this, like on stage or on, in conversation, which is with anecdotes and conversations and like really bringing them into my personality and really bringing
stories
them.
And probably all the hashtags, all the things, the inside little jokes you form with the community. Yeah. All that stuff. Yeah.
And so like really leaning into that and being like, I don't care if my video then was 7 minutes and is now 15. Mm-hmm. Like that, those people who want a 7-minute video, they're going to go somewhere else. That's fine. And that's not who I want anyway, because I can't be that concise anyway, you know? Right. And so I started like just really leaning into like who I am and how I would normally explain it to somebody in person with anecdotes and like funny stories.
So you cut out, like before you were cutting out all the quote fluff.
Yes.
And now you're including the quote unquote fluff.
Fluff, yeah.
But it's not really fluff. It's the thing that make people connect.
Yes.
It's the thing that makes me feel like, oh, I'm getting good information. And I kind of like this person.
Yes.
Like I want to watch another video.
Exactly.
And feel like I'm hanging out and learning at the same time.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's really the big thing I did.
So what happened?
I like saw a massive. So if we talk like money, because I feel like that's an easy one to kind of like look at.
Good metric. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you look at like my take home, actually what YouTube was going to pay me in December of last year, which was still when I was like trying. I'm like, okay, I'm getting there. I'm going to do it. It was like $1,300, like nothing, right? Mm-hmm. In February, so like last month, it was $10,000. So like in 2 months, it grew that much.
So, but what was the difference though? Was it like just traffic and your traffic sources were changing?
Traffic sources.
And you got homepage and suggested primarily now? Yep. I told you. Didn't I just call that? Like
You did. You did. That's exactly what happened. Like we went straight from like, we're going to only be found in search, right?
Yeah.
To now, YouTube is like, hey, this chick's pretty cool. We're going to like show her to more people. And then as they showed her to more people, then as they showed me to more people, right?
Talking third person now.
Third person. I'm Jessica, sorry. But when they started showing me to more people, it was on the recommended. And then those people are like, oh, I really like this chick. I'm going to watch like 7 more of her videos. That's what happened.
Yep. And that's exactly what we've seen time and time and again. And I understand why like people want to go to after search because it's, owned by Google and but when you look at like, and this was a kind of an eye opener to me. I can't tell you where I got this info from, but just,
secret.
It's true.
We have lots of secrets. They're going to be like, what are they talking about?
Well, I have some friends. That's all. And they're very helpful.
CIA?
No.
YouTube IA?
YouTube world, yeah.
See, there we go.
And this is kind of like helped shift my mindset. If you look at YouTube overall as a platform, the question to me is like, Tim, where do you think the most traffic goes? Like in terms of where the most traffic on YouTube is? Is it search? Is it homepage? Or is it suggested? And I was like, I don't really know, And so I took a guess. I was right. So it's primarily suggested because everyone's got to go to the homepage before they get to suggested or before they get to search. So there's a lot of traffic there. And a lot of people just go back to the homepage to see what else is being recommended for them.
Yeah, I do that.
But you can easily get into a viewing session of like one suggested video after another. And so the biggest opportunity in terms of overall traffic volume on YouTube is suggested. The second one is close behind. It's homepage.
Yep,
and then
I can see that.
There's a really big gap between home and search.
Yep.
Because the number of people who are actually searching for something, and even if you rank number 1, doesn't mean that people are going to click. They might click on video number 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So it's like you do a lot of work to get into the traffic source that provides, at the end of the day, it's the least amount of opportunity. Now, there's still a lot of opportunity there, so don't get me wrong.
Of course, yes.
But if you're comparing it to the alternatives, which is home and suggested, there's a lot more opportunity, and you get a better viewer who's actually not just for the info, see ya, and they're like scrubbing ahead for the like 3 points, and then they're gone before you even get your call to action. But the people who are just like, I just want to chill with someone I like hanging out with and learn some things in the process, like that's where you get that homepage and suggested traffic.
Yeah, and I think like it's search is so formulaic, right? Like it can be taught. I can teach you how to be found in search. You can teach somebody how to be found in search. Yeah. So I think
can do that on homepage as suggested too.
Well, I can too now.
Okay, good.
But I actually had that in my talk. I was like, do not focus on search only. Like here,
really?
All of these things. Let me show you how to like add on to your search formula to get you in recommended and
well, can
suggested.
you reveal those things?
Well, of course.
Or do I? Okay, good.
But I mean, I feel like you don't get the whole experience because I was very animated talking about this yesterday.
This is primarily audio only, so
you know. But basically, like with search, right?
You can watch the video and be animated.
Yeah, that's true. So with search, you're like keywords, titles, descriptions, right? Like all of these things, you know. But if you can get your CTA up, CTA, where was I going? Call to action.
CTA, you know.
You said CTAs or call to action a second ago. It was in my head.
Okay.
But your click-through rate, if you can get your click-through rate up with the titles and the thumbnails, that is like just a little add-on strategy to everything else you're already doing.
Yeah.
That's going to get you in recommended in.
And we just did a whole episode for you guys. Go back to last week or 2 weeks. I don't know when they were getting published. But we recently did one where it's all about like the principles that make for good, enticing, intriguing titles and thumbnails and things. So, yeah. We summarize it by saying optimize for people, not robots.
Totally.
Right? And so if you're optimizing for robots, you're trying to get all the keywords in the right spot and you're trying to merely just describe the content. But if you want someone to click, it can't just describe the content. It's got to create that little question mark pop up above their head. And they're like, oh, how does that work? Or is that possible?
Yes.
Or like some sort of curiosity.
Did you
some
come
sort of
to my
attention.
talk yesterday? That's what I talked about.
Oh, well.
Totally.
Great minds think alike. Or think like yours, one or the other.
Alike. I think it's alike.
Okay, alike, right.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I always say sass and emotion. Like
sass and emotion.
Sass and emotion.
Okay,
like you've got to.
That's your way of saying optimize for people. Not robots.
Absolutely, right? Like you've got to make them. Why would they want to click? If it's just like, hi, 3 ways to whatever.
Do your taxes.
Nobody cares, right? Like that's boring. But if they're like, do your taxes in 5 minutes while standing on your head, you know what I mean? Like it's like very different. That seems really weird. I don't even know how to do taxes, and like that's not a good example.
Yeah.
Same.
That was the first thing I outsourced when I started my business. After I'm like, ooh, sales tax and all these different.
Same.
Like,
that is not. Do you know I started college as an accounting major? Could you imagine?
I can imagine. Yeah.
No, I could not. I went to this class, like the first class. It was 8 a.m. It was like an 8 a.m. class.
Well, there's your problem.
Right. And I'm like, oh, I like math. Like I like math. I can do it because I like analytics and like things.
Oh yeah.
No, accounting is like a completely different ballgame.
Yeah.
I quickly like that semester was it. I got a business minor and I like switched my major.
So turning your channel around, was it really just as simple as like putting your personality into it? Did you change anything with titles and thumbnails, intros, anything else? Or was it literally like, I just decided I'm going to be myself and that's it?
Yeah. So the thumbnails, my thumbnail game has always been strong. Like I've never struggled with that. You know what I mean? So the thumbnails,
I like your humility too.
I know, right? I'm really great at what I do.
No, it's good. It's good. I haven't seen them for a while, but last time I saw them, I thought they were pretty strong. Yeah,
I've always understood the assignment.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like the TikTok sound, I understand the assignment. Yeah. So I've always understood the assignment there. But titles, absolutely. I changed some things with that, and it was really, again, optimizing for emotion and click. Like not for the analytics, not for the robots, for the people. Like what is going to make somebody want to click on this, not what is going to make YouTube's algorithm like check and make sure this is okay.
Yeah.
I really focused a lot on titles, big time. And then, yes, my personality. But as far as like the intros or anything like that, no. Like that's all been the same.
Okay. Do you feel like that worked for you because you already had 100,000 subs? Or do you feel like that someone could start with 0 views, 0 subscribers, and that like personality, human connection thing primary would still work for them?
Oh, 100% it could, because my channel was like nothing. Like I may have had 100,000 subscribers, but like there was like
no loyal engaged fans.
Yeah, it's not like there was like a lot going on that I just like threw at it. You know, like Mr. Beast, he can do anything he wants to do.
But his human connection level is so high.
100%, yeah.
And the intrigue is so high in the title of the thumbnails. Yeah, so he's hitting like all these things on all cylinders.
Yes,
yeah.
and if he wanted to like do something weird, of course he has like this like
people
fan
don't
base.
care about his title thumbnails anymore.
No, like
yeah. Well, same with me. Like Dude Perfect, I don't care what their title. I just know they deliver every single time, and they've never let me down.
Yes.
And so I just click.
I bought my kids tickets to go to their tour.
Oh, did you?
And then I realized they're in Charlotte at the same time. We're not going to be in town. So I'm going to have to sell them, and I'm so sad. My kids are sad. I'm not sad. My kids are sad.
Yeah.
But like they already have that like built-in fan base. So like they could go off the rails, you know. But I was that wasn't the case for me. Like
Sure.
I had the people there, but the people weren't watching my videos anyway, right? Like the subscriber to view number would have been very low at that point. Yeah. So it was really, I think anybody can do it from the very beginning. It's what I would recommend for anybody to do is like, go ahead. I've always infused my personality. Again, I can't not, but it was more of like, my personality's there while I'm also restricting it a little bit.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Go back. Okay.
Like I'll make a joke here or like a, that's what she said joke or something like while I'm doing it, but that's it. That's all you got. Like that's all you got of my personality. It wasn't,
in the older content.
And now it's like anecdotes and like funny stories and things like that.
So what about the person though, who's listening to me like, that sounds fine, Jessica, good for you, but I don't have a personality.
They're like, everybody has a personality, Tim.
Well, yeah, I agree. But what would you, I want to hear your response because I have one, because I hear this all the time, which is people like, I'm not outgoing, I'm not super, eccentric, or I'm an introvert. I prefer to just be quiet and by myself, and so they think that to order to do what we're talking about here is you've got to be like really
over
outgoing.
the top. Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, or what would you say to that person?
So that is my personality. It is truly you can vouch for that. Like I'm a little over the top. Like it's just how I am. So for me, it's authentic because that's me. People just want to see personality. It's not what the personality is. You're more like, you're a little less crazy than I am.
I'm way less crazy.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like
no,
I have clients who are like yoga instructors, right? And they're very like calm and that's their personality and that's what needs to be shown.
But isn't that boring?
No, not when like people like understand that that's their personality and understanding like what people want to watch. Like, yes, if you're just like, hi, I'm Jessica, and like here I am, that's not a personality. You know what I mean?
It could be that, so I understand what you're saying.
It totally could be. Like if you made it your brand,
right? There are some people
right?
who are really dry,
yes.
that. But I think what I've learned is that some, after having met a lot of these creators, some of the most successful ones are really introverted.
Oh, for
and
sure.
There's a reason why they feel more comfortable talking to a camera than to like we're people, right? But what they do is different, where it's just a totally different vibe. Rather than like, hi, so good to see you guys today, and we're gonna make every day awesome. Instead it's like, hey, how are you guys?
Yes.
Oh, so good to see you again, man. I'm excited today. I think it's gonna be awesome. How was your day? Like, comment below. It's a totally different like one-to-one connection versus like a performance like one-to-many connection. And both are valid and work. But I think what works for the people who, like me, I'm definitely more introverted if I had a choice to be. I can turn it on for stuff like this when I need to.
Right.
But by myself, though, I'm much more, like that latter person. Like, hey, hi, and for us, I know this for you guys have been around, it's going to sound like a broken record, but it's just because it's so true. It's the primal branding elements, which is like, I know your story. Like I can connect with you there. I know what you believe. There's some icons that I see regularly, some rituals, like do perfect pound and hug and see ya. Every video that like, for you, it's hashtag all the things. Like there's those elements. You don't have to be loud and talk really fast for these things to work. We need to know, like, what are you standing for? What are you standing against? There needs to be some inside language, like, all the things or things that you. So those are the things that actually help people connect. Yeah. It's not really the pace of your talk or how outgoing you are. It's like, do I have those 7 signals? And if I do, then it's way easier for me to create that human connection with somebody.
And being authentic. I think people will see, like, somebody like me or Mr. Beast or somebody on camera who's like, and they think they have to be that way.
Right.
And so then it's completely inauthentic.
I see what's working for them. And so therefore, if I want those results, I have to do that.
Yes.
And what we're saying is like, no, there's some principles that make that work for them, but those same principles can work for an introvert.
Totally. 100%. I have had a lot of like clients and students in my course who are the complete opposite personality from me, very like quiet and like I say, like very like calm. And I need that in my life. I need more calm, like, so I will watch them. But I will say that I always tell people like the camera takes you know how it adds like pounds, like they used to say, like it adds like whatever
Especially
pounds.
when you're using wide angle.
I know.
I'm like this one.
I'm gonna sit over here and I'm gonna look
you get
huge.
to the outside and my face stretches.
Like, yes. I know. I had filmed a video the other day and I was like, wow, Jessica, you were sitting in the wrong part of that
it's
camera lens.
It's not a complimentary lens, but it's a very practical lens.
I agree. I have a wide angle on mine too. Yeah. But how it like adds pounds, I think it also like sucks out personality.
The wide angle or just
no, like the camera.
Oh, camera.
So like if you're gonna sit here and talk to the camera like you would talk in person, it's gonna come across like.
I do ratchet it. I do
you,
turn it up a notch or two.
It,
yeah, I do.
And so most people will.
And when I'm on stage too, but it drains me. Like I can't sustain it. Like
it
here we are at
me.
day 3 of social media marketing world, and I feel like my eyes are bloodshot.
Yeah.
I've only gotten 5 hours of sleep the past couple nights.
Yeah.
And I've been talking all day to everybody and keeping the smile on the other side. And I mean it because I feel that way, but I can't keep expressing it this long. So I got enough gas in the tank for today, but I'm be like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go on the airplane, just my facial muscles relax. Right. And just be like,
Yeah, I know. Well, like when I got off stage yesterday, I mean, like that is like so, like I'm like, yeah, I'm here for that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like so much energy afterwards. I'm like, but that's the difference in an introvert and an extrovert.
Sure, yeah.
Like I am like 100% extroverted. Like people like give me the energy.
But I think what we're saying, there's plenty of room on YouTube for both. And
absolutely.
So when you say your personality, people are like, well, I'm not like Jessica though, or I'm not like Tim, or I'm not like whoever. Like that's exactly right. You're not, and you shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's the point.
I feel like I'm doing a little Mr. Rogers pep talk here, but like you should be yourself.
You need a sweater.
And some better shoes. Yeah, but and a trolley.
You do need a trolley. There's a train out here.
I have chickens and 7 kids, but not a trolley.
Not a trolley.
Yeah, but it's more about like those signals. So whether they're like really amped up or if it's just like really chill. Like if I know your story, that's why I open up these interviews with people like Jessica saying like, tell us your story. Who are you? Where'd you come from? What are you all about? And that's what helps you as the listener connect with Jessica and then want to keep listening to the podcast because like I know Tim, but who's this other person? Yeah. You can start feeling something, even if it's not like I'm connected on a 10, but if you were at 0 when you click play, at least now you're at like a 3 maybe.
Right. And it's like the weirdest things that will help people connect with you, right? Like it's not like it's not what you think it is, you know? Like yesterday during my talk I played 2 truths and a lie, you know? And like what they learned is that I live really far from anywhere, right? Like I live in
I'm surprised
rural.
you have internet access.
I have fiber.
Yeah, see?
Did
you used to have satellite though when you first came out to Cincinnati?
No, I would have had fiber then, but I may have told the story because basically our county had no internet. They had like satellite or dial-up, and we got like a grant. And so that's how we got fiber.
Okay.
So I live really far from anywhere. They learned that. I hate coffee and think it tastes like burnt tire water.
I think I share those sentiments exactly. I've tried coffee twice in my life, and each time I was like, people are like, yeah, you just gotta kind of acquire the taste. I'm like, I don't feel like spending the money I need to spend to acquire this taste. So.
Right. And then I also like Gilmore Girls, right? Like those were the 3 facts.
I know that, yeah.
And so afterwards, the amount of girls who came up to me and were like, I also hate coffee and like Gilmore Girls.
You like coffee though, don't you? That was the truth?
No, I hate coffee.
Oh, a lot. Yeah, okay. Good. All right.
Yep. So the Gilmore Girls was that's the truth, but the first statement was the lie. Like I stated it different.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's what connected them. That has nothing to do with my business or anything, right? But now they're going to be like, oh, I really like her because I feel the same as her.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
Or like
it's a shared belief, something in common.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's arbitrary. Like, what does that matter? That doesn't matter. It's not like I shared my I did say my husband was a preacher. I did share my religious beliefs, but like that wasn't the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like so high level. It can literally just be like, I like
I just saw a picture of our
t-shirts.
7 kids, and people are like, oh, you had 7 kids in 8 years? That's all I got to share.
Yeah.
You know, people are like,
I know.
what's wrong with you? Or you're amazing or something. You know,
always.
They can't help but react in like one extreme or another.
I know, always. Yeah.
I was like, Mormon? Are you Catholic? Like, no.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not Mormon. And then this was at a conversation the other day.
So confused.
And somebody was like, I was like, no, he just doesn't like birth control. And you were like, no, I just really like my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great. You know, that's a great tagline, right? Like, it's like,
that just came out. Yeah. I've never used that line before.
You should. It was fun. Dana would really appreciate it.
I don't know if she would. But
well, you can cut this out if she wouldn't appreciate it.
She would find it here, but it's a tagline on my website. She'd probably be like, no. No, I am 100% positive that I will not be using that tagline. Oh man, I was just listening to this episode here again, and I'm like, wow, this de-escalated fast. But it was fun. Always fun to hang out with Jessica and learn from her and what she's doing. And by the way, if you want to grow your channel similarly to how Jessica did, not by focusing on search, but learning the right way to do it, the faster way to do it with suggested and home traffic and all these other things, Video Labs is the exact right next step for you. In fact, that's exactly what Jessica went through. She went through an older version of it. What did we say? Back in 2013 or 14, 15, that's what it was. Something like that. She went through an older version of it. It's like 90% new material and updated for YouTube today here in 2022. And we spent a lot of time actually focusing on how to optimize your channel for growth and your videos for homepage traffic, for suggested traffic, as well as for search traffic and a lot of other things. So it's exactly what you need. Like, how do you build a human connection? How do you make content that can perform really well, that gets people to feel something and want to keep watching and watching more? We also dive into, it's 8 weeks long. The last 2 weeks are about analytics. How do you use your analytics to spot more opportunities for growth so that you can see how your strategy is working and know how to pivot and change it based on the data and not just based on guesswork. So we would love to help you feel more confident with your YouTube strategy as you move forward with that. Go to videocreators.com/videolabs. And Jessica did the one that I used to do live in person here in Cincinnati, Ohio area. But you can also just take it online and go through the updated version of it there. That is, will definitely help you take everything we talked about here today in this episode. And if you don't want your story to be like Jessica's, like, Video Labs is exactly what you need. And I don't say that because it's like I'm making a sale here. I'm saying that because I've seen enough creators, thousands of them, go through it and experience those types of results. So I know that is exactly what you need if that is what you're trying to address on your channel, so you can unlock real growth, real momentum, and reach people and change their lives with your message and with the business that you're growing around it. So go to videocreators.com/videolabs, and hopefully you grow into a successful business, an online channel, just like Jessica has. And I would love to give you a power tip. Sorry, my mind was going a different direction right before I wrapped up there. I want to wrap up this episode with this week's power tip. Every week, we want to give you something practical you can use right now on your channel to take it to the next level. And I want to introduce you to, in case you're not familiar, this is more for those of you who are live streaming. YouTube recently launched what's called Live Redirect. And what that is when your live stream ends, you can send all of your viewers to a different live stream or to another premiere or even to someone else's channel. You've got a lot of people watching you right there, and you're like, hey, this is over, but let's all now go watch this together instead. The whole group of people, boom, get transferred to that premiere or to that live stream on someone else's channel. So if you are a Twitch user, you're familiar with this as like a raid, but now YouTube has something similar. So you need to have, in order to be eligible for a live redirect, you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers. And the destination channel can have any number of subscribers. So this could be a nice way to boost viewers and subscribers and give attention to maybe another smaller channel than yours to their audience. And so the default setting is to allow live redirects from any channel you subscribe to, as long as your subscriptions are public. But you can also switch to just adding channels that you want to send to you, or just, there's a lot of different options there. So if you are a live streamer, you're interested in finding out about Live Redirect, check out the show notes. There'll be links down there where you can see more information about it and get all the details about how it works and how to set it up on your channel. So thank you guys for hanging out for this week's podcast episode. We'll see you again next week for another Video Creators podcast episode. See you then. Bye.